Should you kill or spare this rideable unicorn in Oblivion Remastered? You can get him right at the start of the game, and he's also immune to damage. But is the unique reward for killing him worth it or not? And please do pay close attention to this one, because it's very easy to mess up unlocking this unicorn if you're not careful. So to start this quest, we must first make an offering to the Deadric Lord of the Hunt. Wolves have a 15% chance to drop their pelt, while bears are a guaranteed drop, and you can find them scattered over the wilderness of Ridable. Alternatively, you can just go over here on the map to Cheydinhall's Fighters Guild, and at this location you will find some bear pelt just at the top of the stairs here inside the Fighters Guild. And then once you have that offering, you can head over to Hircine Shrine, which is hidden in the Great Forest south from the Imperial City just here on the map. And once you reach the shrine, you can find and speak to the Khajiit, Vajira, and tell him that you are a hunter, and then he'll say you can go and make an offering to the shrine. Now, to actually speak to Hircine and start this quest, you'll need to be level 17. But don't worry, because you can actually still find the unicorn at level 1, and you can use it until you reach level 17, and then if you like, you can hand in its unique horn to get the quest reward. And Hircine will now tell you the location of the unicorn that he wants you to go and hunt. It's located here in Hircine's Grove, which will now be marked on your map, but again, you can come here at level 1 right at the start of the game, and the unicorn's still going to be there even though you haven't started the quest. However, getting the unicorn is not that simple, because it's surrounded by 3 minotaurs. And please do listen carefully to this next bit, because this is the part you can mess up, which stops you riding the unicorn yourself. Because as soon as you unsheath your weapon or raise your fists near the unicorn, it will automatically become aggressive and attack you. So there's a few methods of how we can approach this and actually get the unicorn as our mount. Firstly, we don't actually need to kill the minotaurs. We can just run up to the unicorn without a weapon drawn and mount it, and then ride off into the sunset. And do be careful if you have a follower with you, because if they have their weapons out or try to start attacking, the unicorn will then start attacking them. The second method is to use ranged weapons like spells or a bow and arrow to shoot the minotaurs from really far away, so you aggro them one at a time and defeat them away from the unicorn, so it doesn't become aggressive to you. And then once you're done, the unicorn's just there, and you can walk over to it and mount it and ride it off into the distance. But should you keep this unicorn or kill it? Well, firstly, let's take a look at the unicorn's stats. It has 100% resistance to normal weapons, making it pretty much immune to most enemy damage types in the game. It also reflects 20% of the damage it receives back to the attacker. So the higher the difficulty, the more damage it's going to be doing back to the enemies. And it has a 50% resistance to magic. And considering it has 350 base health, it's going to be very tanky anyway, in addition to having all of these resistances. The unicorn's also the second fastest horse in the game after Shadowmere, and in combat it does the most damage at 45 damage a hit. And that's actually more powerful than most weapons you have access to. But whenever you're in a combat situation with the unicorn, you need to be careful. The unicorn will go and attack any enemies nearby for you. However, if you or your follower draws their weapon, it's then going to start attacking you too. After you mount the unicorn, it's going to become your horse until it dies, because it's not an invincible creature. So be careful when jumping off mountains, because it's going to take full damage and that's going to wear down its health. It will obviously still heal up over time, but you don't want to accidentally take it out. If you ever lose the unicorn for some reason, it's probably gone back to Hircine's Grove here on the map. So just go back there and it will be standing around waiting for you to mount it. And in that sense, if it ever does attack you, you can just run away and not kill it, and then come back to Hircine's Grove to pick it up again. So to summarize, from level 1 you can ride this unicorn around like a princess. But then what happens when you want the reward for killing the unicorn? Well, after you brutally murder the innocent beast, you can then obtain the unique unicorn's horn from the still warm body. It also has a 5% chance to drop the new merch, featuring your stolen sweet rolls or your addiction to skooma, available from the link below. But if you actually return to Hircine Shrine with the offering of the unicorn horn, he's then going to reward you with his unique Deadric artifact, the Saviour's Hide, a light armor chest piece with a stupidly powerful 25% resistance to magic, embellished with a giant wolf head on the front of it. The armor value is also similar to glass as well, making it one of the best light armor pieces in the game, especially considering you can get it at level 17, but let me know in the comments if you would kill the unicorn for it or not. The next Deadric artifact you're going to want to find after this is Goldbrand, a sword that does 160 damage a hit if you build your character around it, and in that video I go over how to get it and how to build your character to do the maximum amount of damage. I'll link it down below too.